Neither of you fine people have been to Ireland, have you?
No.
I have not been to Ireland.
Okay, I'll go. That's all I needed. Thanks.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
I do have Irish heritage though, but I've never been.
Okay.
And I did do a film once where I had to play an Irish character.
Ah, okay. I didn't know that.
He had cancer.
Right.
Right.
Ready to
It's
go?
in Australia.
Ah, okay. Rock and roll. With Hollywood, there's always this long tradition of getting much loved foreign films and turning sacred cows into hamburgers. But here you've managed to sort of stay very true to the original, both the book and the film. I'm guessing that was a big part of your modus operandi, that you wanted to be true to it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that after I saw the Swedish film and then I read Lindqvist's novel, I was so moved by the story and so related to it that it was really important to me that we do it in a way that was very true to the spirit of what Lindqvist wrote. And so I felt also it was very personal to me. I really related to that coming-of-age story. And so I wanted to find a way to personalize it as well. So I think people were worried because they thought, most remakes are pretty horrendous. And, I just felt like if we could stay true to this, that there was a chance we could do something such a beautiful story.
Kodi, you do a wonderful job here, and I know that you said you didn't watch that Swedish film until after you'd shot the film.
Yeah.
I don't know, getting ready to play such a role as own, this young kind of coming-of-age moment for him and the first kiss, but it just happens to be a 12-year-old vampire in the flesh. But I don't know whether that was a lot of preparation, whether you... I was thinking of Bloodsuckers. Maybe you hung out with Hollywood agents. That helps when you get that feeling of, somebody who won't be your friend.
It was quite a bit of work. Me and my dad worked together before I do a film to make the character. And, me and him, we work together and we just make a whole life for the character and we kind of write about it and where does he live and just little things that you know about yourself. And, so I know the whole backstory to Owen's life, and when I'm in the moment, I know everything about him.
Well, I already see now that Stephen King has called this the best American horror film in the last 20 years, which is a nice little stamp to have. And the original novelist, I'd love to know how to pronounce your name, John Ajvide.
Lindqvist.
That's the one.
Yes.
How do you pronounce the second part?
Ajvide, I believe.
There you go.
But you know what? I'm probably not right about that.
Right. But he himself has also given it a thumbs up. He loves it. He loves both films, which is
He did. He was very kind to us, yeah.
Are those the sort of things that make you feel, relaxed about it, or do you always feel until it opens and goes out there that you're always a little bit nervous about how it's going to be received?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always nervous, and the thing is that in the case of Lindqvist in particular, because I had written to him after I read the novel and he knew I was getting involved, I was really concerned about how he was going to receive it. And we came out in the United States on a Friday, and that morning we got a great review in the New York Times, and I was very excited. But I got an email from him, which was basically some version of what has been published, and I was really... That meant more to me than anything. I mean, I know that the story was his growing up, and I really wanted to make sure that he felt that it was honored and sort of true to his story.
I should ask you too, Kodi, with this and The Road, and you've done some wonderful work in your native Australia, there's a sort of a darkness in you that people seem to recognise when it comes to these wonderful films. And I don't know whether that's something that you recognise too, that maybe you have the ability to go to darker places at such a young age, or whether you think it's just you can act and that's all that really matters.
Well, like I've said a lot of times, when I audition, I do like a handful of stuff, like happy stuff, and it's always different. But with this, it seems like it always comes out. The last 3 films I've done have been kind of dark and dramatic. I'd like to do something probably a bit happier so I can show that I can do the other side of acting as well. But yeah, for now it's been a lot of dark stuff.
I was thinking for you, Matt, as well, that the relationship between two 12-year-olds sort of connecting like that, you'd sort of have that with JJ. I know you met when you were 13 and you were both doing your short films, and really you've sort of come along so far with, obviously Cloverfield, but then before that Felicity. But I guess that was part of the story that you could quite easily relate to, that notion of kinship and friendship and need to belong at that age. And,
oh, sure. I mean, that was the whole thing. It's interesting because people, obviously, who don't know the story, they think of it as a vampire story, but anyone who knows what the story is knows that it's really about those 2 kids. And to me, there was nothing more important than that working, because you can't. It wasn't as if we were going to have 6 or 7 great vampire scares and that would get you. It was really about whether or not you believed and related to those kids, and that's why finding Kodi and Chloe was the key to the whole thing.
Of course, the Great American Tradition is also a sequel, so I don't know whether there is Cloverfield 2 is coming around, but I don't know whether you'd feel this is something that you would like to take another book and go further with this story. Or?
The thing about it is that, like I said, I really have sort of followed Lindqvist's lead on this. If he ever writes something and wants to do sort of a sequel to his story because he's found the way to do it, then I'd be open to it.
Rock and roll. Well done. My time is up. Lovely to talk to both of you.
Yeah, great talking to you.
Yeah.